I think I was born to be doing what I'm doing. So, I mean, how often you meet a basketball player turned bodybuilder and stuff and it all works out? You know, I know that, you know, I was made here for a purpose, and I'm just fulfilling that dream. You know, I ask for humility and stuff like that, you know, really just to maintain some type of, you know, normalcy in my life. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure that I compete at a very high level. I'm giving props where they're due, and I just try to keep things in perspective and just say thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to live my life and to give me a great opportunity to be in front of all these people and competing and being an inspiration for people. Just let me represent for them, you know. It ain't about me as much as what people think, you know. It ain't about me no more after that. I just want to do it because the fans like it. When I'm training this year, like it's a lot of business. I mean, because I know what time it is. I know that it's time to, you know, put up or shut up. I'm sure a lot of people expect me to be improved from last year. Just expect it to be a war and feel he's ready to fight. Coming to win. You know, I mean, I've been second, I've been fifth, I've been third at that show. I kind of know what it feels like to have all these emotions, different placements. And now there's only one more spot to go, and that's to be number one. You know, I was always competitive. I've been competitive playing Monopoly and stuff. It don't matter like what it was, and it just, I think the environment that I grew up in was just highly competitive. You know, I always loved basketball, but we didn't have a basket, and I didn't have no brothers or sisters to take me. So I would take the ball and just try to shoot with arc and using my imagination. Like this was, you know, here I'm shooting down, you know, but I'm imagining like it's up. You know, my stepfather, you know, with him being there, he just wanted me to do whatever I wanted to do. And then one day I come home from school, he had that basketball hoop, nailing it to the garage as I was walking home. You know, with that hoop, that's all I had. And basketball was awesome because you don't need a teammate, you don't need nothing. You just need a ball and a basket. So I used to shoot, and I shoot all night. And right there, I mean, I was hooked. I wanted to be better about everything I did. My thing was always trying to make people look stupid by their stereotypes or their prejudices. People can try to talk trash to you or whatever. Talking trash back was like, I'll see you on the basketball court. See how much trash you're gonna talk to them. There's barely any white kids at my school. It was all Pacific Islanders and blacks, and I went to an all-white college. You know, this kid, you know, he came from Rainier Beach High School, you know, probably a thug or this or that. Well, I don't look like one, and I definitely don't talk like one. And I think me always wanting to prove people wrong, you know, sports allowed me to do that, academics allowed me to do that, and, you know, bodybuilding's allowed me to do that.
And a guard for the Rainier Beach Vikings, a 5'10" senior, number 22, Philip Heath.
I got done playing basketball in March of '02. Throughout that summer, I was still trying to play. I was playing in pro-am leagues, trying to get picked up, whatever, trying to live that dream. Started working out a little bit, but more for basketball than anything. And then I'm thinking, why am I putting my stress and time into this when I need to finish school, I need to look for work. And I got away from the varsity weight room and just started training with the students. And then I found a bunch of bodybuilders. And then that's when I started hanging out with them, started eating with them, got to end up getting a night job at a club with them, learning about nutrition. And so, you know, I started putting on weight real fast because I started learning how to eat. Bodybuilding, you learn real quick that you go out partying, like I would go out partying, pizza and beer and stuff with the guys, and then try to go lift the next day. I get killed by my friends. They would destroy me. And they tell me, like, you can't be a rock star in bodybuilding. You can't be a rock star in bodybuilding.
Phil Heath.
They convinced me to do a show. So on October 8, 2002, I had received a digital camera that I bought on eBay. And I propped it up, did my JCPenney catalog poses, I guess. That's what I call them. Those pictures sucked. But then again, I did it because I wanted to see what I looked like. I used to take those photos and then critique them to death with a red marker. I used to print them out and take the red pen to it. And that's when I bought that Arnold Schwarzenegger Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. And then I realized, okay, now you're a bodybuilder. Started October 8, 2002, competed April 4th, 2003. The 2003 APC Muscle Mag, Northern Colorado. Men's novice heavyweight first place. I ended up also winning, I think, the open light heavyweight first place. And the overall, sure there's a medal or something somewhere hanging around here with that, but that's when I met Jay. The first time I met Jay, some people have seen a picture with me and Jay the first time I ever competed and stuff. And I went up to him, was like, please, sir, can I please take a picture with you? And he's like, yeah. He was like, I was like, if you don't mind me asking, what did you weigh? He goes, I'm 290. And I go, that's all right, I'm 190. You know what I mean? So that was like our first interaction and stuff. So went home with all that hardware and I was hooked. Hooked after that. Ended up doing the Colorado State right after that, and that was the only show that I didn't win the overall at. Actually got a chance to guest pose with Jay, not on the same stage but different time. That's when I got to meet Jay for the very first time, actually visit with him. The pump up room at the Boulder Theater is like this room right here. Like there ain't no room for a bunch of bodies in there, right? Maybe a little bit bigger than this. So here I'm like doing this and everyone's like, man, how much you weigh? I was like, oh, 240 and stuff, you know, I'm gonna come down, you know, be like 205 or something like that, you know? And they're like, oh, that's cool. And then Jay goes, are you sponsored? And everyone stops. Everyone stops and like looks around. He goes, hey man, are you sponsored? And I said, no. He said, you should be. And I was like, and everyone was like, dude, like Jay Cutler just talking to Phil Heath? Because Jay wasn't talking to nobody. So he's getting ready to go on stage and he just told me straight up, like right before he went up on stage, he goes, Phil, I see everybody around the world. I wouldn't tell this to anybody. And I was like, come on, man, you know, like don't BS me, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, I wouldn't, I believe. So then we ended up hanging out that night and he told me to give me my contact information to him. He emailed me and said, send me a couple pictures. I sent them to him. He sent them to everybody he knew in the industry. Next thing you know, my phone, I was working at Ballet Total Fitness and my phone was ringing off the hook so much that I almost got fired that day. You know, it just kept going on and on and on. I got phone calls from Muscle Tech. I mean, a lot of people. And at this time, I'm getting ready for Junior Nationals, so I got all this stuff going on. I don't know like how this is gonna play out, so don't get your hopes up. So next thing I know, Jay would text, he would email me and be like, they're gonna want to shoot you. I mean, the whole time I'm thinking like, this guy's like, he's trying to hook me up, man. They had me come out, I want to say like 3 weeks out from the Junior Nationals, and didn't know what the hell I was doing. First photo shoot ever. It was in Hard Times, called Mile High Muscle. Weeder and Muscular Development, those were the two magazines I was deciding on. So then Jay was actually mentioning how Team Muscle Tech wanted to have me on as well. And then that's when I remember telling him that I said it wasn't enough money. And he was like, dude, this is a really good deal. Like no one gets a sponsorship with a magazine and a supplement company before they do a national show. This is before I even did the juniors. So obviously, you know, I won the Junior Nationals, and then I said yes to Weeder, obviously, and I've been there ever since. And they picked me up after the Junior Nationals, went to Chatsworth Powerhouse Gym, shot my first cover, and then a month later, I received that cover, the night that I won the Mr. USA title 6 years ago. And it was one of the coolest feelings I ever got. Like I said, I've been very fortunate to have someone like him around. And I know he's always had my back on everything. But I don't want to be friends just in bodybuilding. I want to be friends for life. He's my boy. See, that's the cool thing about Jay, is that at some point in time, pretty much everyone has asked for advice from Jay, whether they want to admit it or not. They all have come running to Jay like he's God, because they know he's done it right, and he's done it with class. I felt like I had done all that I could in '09 to do well at the Olympia, and everything just went wrong. I got sick, I got hurt a couple of times. You know, everything, my personal life was in shambles. I mean, everything just went wrong. People were dying in my family. I mean, everything was going wrong. I remember after placing 5th, I was like, I'm never gonna feel this way again. I don't wanna feel like that again. So I wanna be so good that people remember my name as being one of the top guys. Because people wrote me off right after that, you know. So I did. Trained harder than I ever trained at the time. And the results, you know, showed.
I want to welcome everyone to the Mr. Olympia.
You know, 2 days out before the show, I mean, I was like, I'm ready to kick the crap out of everybody. The whole prejudging, I thought I owned it. It was weird. Like, I really thought I was gonna win. And that was a cool feeling. Even though I didn't win, it was cool just to think, like, maybe it was a half a second where I just felt it, like, oh, this is what it's gonna feel like, you know? But I think what's even cooler was to hear Jay's fans screaming, my fans screaming, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, this is like when I was getting ready for my first junior nationals, the USA, when I would download motivational videos on YouTube and put them on the Sony PSP doing cardio to watching Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman get after it. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, all those years. I used to watch that stuff repeatedly over and over again on my little Sony. I used to watch it all day doing cardio. And now, standing on that stage, I finally got a chance to take it all in and think, that's you up there now. Now somebody's watching you. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You watch the video, I'm saying it. I'm like, you're gonna win. You're gonna win this. Like, oh my God, like, you're gonna win this, dude. Like, I can feel it. So they said in second place, Heath. And I remember, you know, like thinking like, what the hell just happened? Even though I lost twice that same year, you know, both of them taught me a lot of lessons. You know, both of them taught me a lot of humility. You know, sometimes it's not about the battle, it's about the war. You know, and the war is to become Mr. Olympia. So, you know, I knew that I needed more gym time. I didn't think I would be able to yield enough mass in that short period of time for the Arnold Classic. I couldn't have guaranteed that big wow that people are used to seeing. Whereas I knew that by taking the year off, I could have more time to do appearances, to actually feel like second in the world. I came back here a mess. So it actually made not doing the Arnold this year pretty helpful for him, because then he could repair me. It's definitely helped. And having bad knees going into bodybuilding, I mean, didn't help. But making sure that everything is in perfect alignment and stuff makes things a whole lot easier to train. So I don't have as much pain when I train now. I've been seeing him for quite some time, just to do a lot of preventative maintenance work, decompression, acupuncture, chiropractic work. He does everything. You know, I turned pro 6 years ago, almost to the day, and you know, when I turned pro, I was like, oh, I'll do it for 10 years. Well, I keep saying that every year now. I'll stay in another 10, and I've been pro for 6, so now I'm already talking about maybe another 10. I mean, as long as I can still compete at a high level and feel like, you know, I'm healthy, which I have been, I don't see why I can't do this forever. At least in my mind, I feel I can do it forever. I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, I definitely want my name to be called as the new Mr. Olympia. I've tried to visualize it a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna just put my hand up or put Jay's hand up or fall down crying. I don't know. I do know that after my own personal celebration, the first thing I'm probably gonna do is probably hug Jay. I personally hope that if I do win, that he doesn't necessarily walk away from the sport. You know, I get kind of emotional thinking about the day that he talks about, you know, possibly leaving. Honestly, I just pray to God that both of us can be the last two standing, man. I mean, nothing against anyone else. It's just that I like going against my best friend in the sport, you know? And I just know that the things that he's instilled in me have been, you know, leadership,
responsibility, you know, integrity, hard work, dedication, being resilient, knowing how to persevere through anything. And I just hope that I can carry on his legacy, you know, whether I win or not. Even when you've dug deeper and deeper and deeper into your soul to be the best you can be, you know, you still may not win, but your best is always good enough.